Welcome back. We are here with round 3 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game European Championships live from Antwerp in Belgium. I'm now joined by my two contestants. We have Joe White and we have Daniel, who has basically been already winning some of the big tournaments this year. We've had the Italian champion here with us, ready to take on this next round. So gentlemen, I'm going to hand you guys the dice and you guys can roll to see which one of you is going to go first. Okay, which one of you would like to go first? You're going to go first? So Daniel is going to go first, so I'm going to hand you guys over to Alberto and Marcello, who are going to be your casters for this match.
Thanks, Ed, and hi everyone, and welcome to the round 3 of the European Championship 2022. It's an honor to be back, and I'm glad I'm with you, Alberto, as well.
Yeah, it's been since last time was it's been a while. We have the chance to commentate the Italian National Championship together, but here we are again. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and of course the story of the weekend, and especially for this event, was that national champions are back, and Diego is one of them. But if you were wondering why we didn't show any of them in the previous rounds, it is because they got an incredible VIP package. They got 2 buys in the first 2 rounds, so very, very good start, especially with such a huge event with 12 rounds of Swiss. But now finally we're able to feature them, and we decided to start with the one we had the pleasure to commentate in Italy. So Diego absolutely crushed the event, even though he sneaked in with an X3 record during the Swiss. He played Flow Wanderers, a deck that was considered kind of the dark horse of the event, but he won convincingly, and we decided to pick him because he's the only national champion playing the same deck he won with. So he's playing Flow Wanderers again, and what do you think of it?
I think that considering the format, is now one of the decks I will be very happy to play against, especially because, like we saw, Dimensional Shifter, how powerful it is, and hopefully we will see it in action. So maybe Diego has an ace in his pocket. So
absolutely, we'll see. He's playing a very similar deck list to what he used the national championship, but we'll see. The format is completely changed, and his opponent, Joe White, a little less known player, so he will be, of course, on the other end, but he still has proved that he's here. He won the first 2 matches, while Diego didn't, and if buys are a really good thing, maybe he could be rusty, though. So we'll see how things goes. Joe is on Sprite, so it will be Flow Wanderers against Sprite, but now let's go to the table and find out the round 3 winner. Here they are, and we already see a nice prediction on the match. Hopefully for Joe it won't go down to that, but going first is a huge deal for the deck.
No, especially because with the starting hand that Flow Wanderers and the powerful cards that he plays, I think if you play in general going first, you have a very good advantage against every single opponent. And I think that even though the format has changed since last time we saw Diego in action, I think playing Flow Wanderers back-to-back event, you have to be very, confident about your card.
And there it is. So if anyone missed the action live at the Italian National Championship, Diego used the Dimension Shifter every game since the top 4, and it seems like again he opens it. So what a start, and he even gets the Rubina. So great start here by Diego. We have seen how powerful the card is, that even some Sprite players are siding actually Shifter for the TRL elements and some other matchups, but this time around, unfortunately for him, Joe is, as I mentioned, on Sprite. The names are, of course, switched.
And now if you're Joe, I mean, would you be happy to see Flow Wanderers in a round 3 match? Because I mean, it started very strong, So
yeah, as you mentioned, it's not exactly the deck you're happy to face, but I'm curious, and we'll see if Diego takes the match. We'll get a chance to ask him a few questions, maybe, because Dark Lure No More is one of the, I would say, touches of the weekend. Most players are maining it, and it's actually really good against Flow Wondries. So,
but I think this is one of the main differences between the last format, in which we have seen more Forbidden Droplands being played rather than the Dark Lure No More, which has become more popular nowadays.
At the same time, as we can see here, regular opening by Diego, pretty happy with it. And Joe is actually using a version of Sprite we yet haven't seen. We know that the core of the deck and maybe a few entraps are played, but for the rest, a lot of different options. Looking at Joe deck, he decided to actually run with the Trickster engine, which we'll see, and it could be very good here. So.
Yeah, especially because like with light stage, you can basically block.
And there it is, yeah. So, as you can see here, Diego is gonna, of course, think about this, but will not be happy because Trickster is both an extender, but also deals with you know, those pesky trap cards, which can be both in the tier elements matchup and here. It's gonna be actually quite annoying because if you have Dark Ruler, for example, you force out the other Flow Wondries and then it becomes devastating. So
this is especially because like something that you don't really expect, right? I mean,
no.
I think it's one of the few people that maybe plays this card, but they're really powerful, especially because like Lilibel is an extender.
Yep.
And also, I mean, locking one of your opponent card in like this situation is very powerful. So we will see if Diego has any other sort of interactions.
Here we see it on the screen, and as mentioned, now Diego will be forced to go for his Flow Wondries. Let's see. At the same time, if Joe picked up one of his Super Poly, he could have a chance. Maybe the big problem is that once the statue comes down, you're not able to use it anymore because Garura, of course, is dark, but let's see.
Especially because like playing sprites means having multiple hand traps, which in this situation, also with shifter is not ideal.
Do you think Diego knows what's up? Because he actually picked up the Lilibel to read it, so maybe he hasn't really tested against this version. He might be wondering what's going on right now, so let's see.
I think you might not know what your opponent is playing. Like if you read it, maybe you haven't even have a chance to play against that.
And here we see a nice interaction by Diego. Due to shifter, of course, he's able to get back his trap card with Toucan, but now the Apex is there, and this opening might be a little underwhelming. And there he goes, so nice interaction here by Joe. He's able to, thanks to light stage, force out the back rows, and now Dark Lure is there, and Diego is vulnerable. Wow. What a start. You take a look at his hand, but Diego doesn't have any other response. Diddy Crow, of course, conflicting with shifter, but he's playing only the one copy, which is totally reasonable because you can search it out, and we know how strong it is, especially against tier elements. So
would you have done the same, like looking at your opponent's hand?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that this means that he has stuff to do, and we can take a quick look at Diego deck list to just see if he's playing other entraps, and I think he doesn't. Yeah, he's not playing Ash Blossom, so regardless, it would have been safe. And as we can see here, Joe is able to continue. At the same time, shifter can be annoying, so some players are using it, but it's tough to OTK through it. So I'd seen the trend actually go down in popularity. So.
Because here you cannot go with, you know, Swap Frog.
Yeah, it does cut some of the plays down, but he might even decide to just go for the Zeus. So let's see. I don't know. He has quite a few options.
Could go Centauri as well.
Yeah, and there he goes. So I do agree with this. We don't know the rest, of course, of his cards, but. He's gonna go for the Zeus play, and already Diego struggling with this start.
Here comes the Zeus. Now, I mean, even though Diego had the dimensional shifter, which of course hurt, but Joe's hand was really powerful. Like,
Yeah,
he was able to deal with Apex and the Empen, which
it's tough.
Yeah.
And now we do know the end from Diego at the moment. Ooh, and let's see here, he decides to go for it right away. We did not mention, and if any one of you, as I mentioned, followed the Italian Nationals, one of the big surprises in Diego's deck was the 3 copies of Mystic Mine main decked. And once again, he decided to stick with this. So, along with Terraforming, he has 4 copies at his disposal. Here it wouldn't be that great, but in general, it's a really big threat, I feel like.
I mean, especially in game 1, because
Yeah.
if your opponent doesn't play, you know, any card like
Yep.
Galaxy Cyclone or stuff, you're in trouble. And also has the Prosperity, which is, you know,
Yeah, great start here by Joe. Absolutely.
seems like Diego, it's basically, you know, he needs to draw
Yep.
something, by the way, because like...
Here we get to take a look. A few relevant, of course, informations. The Dupe Frog is not something we have seen too much of yet, especially due to the other card we see, which is Super Poly. So
now it's not easy to pick up one, because like... yeah, I don't know. Would you pick Super Poly?
you could at the same time, I think he shuffle back. So he knows that there is like Diddy Crow and then the Flow Wonder and the Trap card. So the Flow Wonder to banish one, which is not even that useful. But
okay, takes another blue.
Just takes some engine for next turn.
Maybe does have another extender at this point.
Yeah. Because there's 3 is left in his hand.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and here comes red. So he has only 3 Crow and the Trap. So let's see.
Okay, also Carrot.
Yeah, great stuff here by Joe. Completely turning on the match.
And this is one of the reasons why Sprite players are side decking Shifter, because like you're able anyways to deal with it. And now Diego, you know, has to face Carrot and Red as well, but also the Zeus. So not a quite an easy spot for him.
No, absolutely, and he pretty much has a double negation, as we can see here. And this 3 comes down. He knew about it. He might just use the red. So let's see. And here I would expect some kind of response from Joe. He's playing fairly well, to be honest, because he's trying his best to chain block the sprites from his opponent, but at some point the Zeus is also going to be there. So one thing to mention, which is also important, is that Diego is only running a single copy of Empen, differently from his national championship. So in this case, he would need to go for 2 count to get it back. So let's see.
Now, why would you wait to like activate the red? You basically wait until.
The thing is, for now, you're basically not allowed to use it. So finally, there is a spot in which the red could be quite good. Do you see a reason not to go for it? Let's see.
I mean, I would, no. Because like the more,
And we do see the red come down. So Diego, considering his options, we know there is again Diddy Crow and Dreaming Town in his hand, but
Diego sets one and is back to Joe. Let's see now what did he draw. Okay, he goes for blue once again. He's waiting for Diego to respond, but looking well also because he has the carrot to negate, just in case. So he goes through now. He will also go like extend his plays. This use is there. I mean,
yeah, he just has to blaze around the Dreaming Town. The Crow at this point is completely useless. But again, he has 2 negations for both, so I don't think this game is gonna last that longer. Still, yeah, we got just a jet. Come down. Let's look at the extra deck also from Joe, because I think he might be playing some spicy stuff. I don't know if we want to spoil already the side decks that are coming up, but for example, a card we haven't seen too much of yet is Cat Shark.
Yeah,
an interesting option for sure. The last we've seen it was actually in Paleo, so back in the other totally awesome format, I would say. But
it was great back then. It's still great after years. So no, I think would you go like for totally awesome straight away? No, right? You have
you have to. Yeah. First of all, you should get to the swap frog engine, but again, it doesn't matter much. So you can just use the carrot at some point, and the Didicro does absolutely nothing here. Yeah. We do see the Dreaming Town.
Yeah.
And here, once again, Gigantic Sprite, of course, is able to resolve. But the red leaves the field, which basically just leaves Joe vulnerable to this Crow. But there's so much stuff that he can do. So
still, he can play around it, right? I mean, after knowing that. Diego's playing it, I think.
Yeah,
now.
It's gonna be slightly annoying, I guess, but he could have tried to play around it slightly better. But I really doubt that it's gonna cost him
no, I don't think
the match
so.
anyhow. Yeah. And I think here again we can start talking about one of the key things in Yu-Gi-Oh, and which I think will be relevant a lot, which is the time. So as we can see now, there are 25 minutes left.
Yeah.
And if you're Diego, you can start considering whether to just pick up your cards and move to game 2, because we have seen a lot of these Sprite players actually siding a card, which I'm gonna try and bring up for you guys. Yep. Which is a Red Resonator. So this card, as you can see, is not the most powerful card, but it's a level 2, so accessible by Gigantic, and it basically allows you to just gain a lot of life points due to health and Gigantic first, and it means that if the game goes to time, then they have a solid win condition. And if you're Diego, you must keep that in mind and maybe just consider picking up your cards, because from what we have seen, we had plenty of matches actually go into time during the previous rounds, so it seems like some of these matchups are quite grindy, I guess.
Especially because, like, we only see this is on Joe's second turn in a row, but I mean, 15 minutes have already passed, which means that these matches are very grind, and I mean, it's one of these cards that is definitely super powerful in a 12-round tournament, especially because, like, with Gigantic Sprite, you can basically, you know, summon it at... it's a great card. So Diego should consider it, I think, in the next minutes, if he realizes that he cannot come back into the game. Still, he has the DD Crow that can be used, so game's not over yet, but...
So for now we see, of course, the Elf come down. One of the greatest tools, not just that deck has, it's so versatile that it's being played by pretty much every deck in the format. But Yeah, again, I want to take a look at Diego's deck overall to just see if he has... no, yeah, he doesn't seem to be playing any timeout, you know, touch in a way. Of course, he has the engine by itself, which can give him 500 life points, but it seems a little risky. So for now, we just see some attacks come down, and at this point, even Mystic Mine wouldn't actually save them. Of course, it would still be quite annoying because he would need to either use the carrot. Well, let's see.
And now he takes some damage, but I mean, with totally awesome being summoned soon, and the Zeus on the field, and also the elf protecting them.
Yeah, for now he will not be able to access the Toad, but he has the carrot, which pretty much protects him from any top deck Mystic Mine. Diego, take a look at his top deck. He's gonna struggle a lot here. Basically, I think the only thing he could be looking for, but the Smashers then deals with it, would be like a Dark Lure plus Mine, but I don't know. He does start with a great one, but Joe has a pretty good read at this point that he can just negate it safely with carrot. And yeah, that's gonna be used. Extravagance is negated, and unless we see a big surprise, yeah, we're gonna go elf to bring back the red.
You think in Diego's mind there's a chance in which he could win this game with Mystic Mine?
No, I don't think this is happening anytime soon, and we do get to see Joe activate his starter. He gets the jet. Was this in the end phase, you think, or was?
No,
it's just
no. Yeah, I think after resolution he activated it.
I guess just to be safe, he doesn't want to lose the carrot for next turn. But I think he's over complicating it. I don't think there is much that his opponent can do. Let's see. Once again, we're gonna try and see some chain blocks. The main strength of Diego's deck at this point, but he actually goes for Shu. Yep, he goes for them both. Let's see.
Okay, takes the Ryza.
Yeah. Takes the Ryza back, takes this 3, and I think another copy of Eagle, maybe?
Yeah.
And we have seen, and maybe we will see in the next day games as well, some of these recurring combos that Ryza, the Mega Monarch, can bring to this deck. It can be very annoying, especially with Mystic Mine, where you just pretty much put it on top of your deck every turn, cleaning your own monsters. But yeah, he's gonna take a look at it. And for now, still Diego managing to fight back somehow. And I think Joe really has to consider his next move, because if he goes for the Emperor now, then the Zeus will be cut off his effect. So let's see. I think this might happen now. Yeah. So Diego does go for the Empen, which means the Zeus is now pretty much useless. Let's see if he's still holding some response.
I'm pretty sure Diego can come back. Like, of course, if Joe has the Sprite Smasher we're showing you guys.
Yeah, this will be tough. Yeah. We've seen House Smashers is at the same time the main brick of the deck, but it's also such a good card in the engine, where very few engines are as powerful as Pride, as consistent as Pride, but also have such a card that is pretty much an out to any card in the game. So it's definitely a risk worth taking, and let's see if...
Especially because like in the mirror match is crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just cutting off the one normal summon, it's a huge deal, because then it's just starter and that's it. So let's see. definitely considering his plays. He's gonna get to add, and we can't quite tell what he went for, but it might have been actually
A spell. It was a spell, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Could be the town, if not the map. So let's see. We're gonna find out quite soon, and he does go for the statue. Okay, so normal summon the statue, try to cut off some of the plays. Of course, this is one of the best, if not the best, engine card in the deck. It's so annoying for most of these decks to deal with. And if he added the fuse spell, I guess it would be the correct line of play. So he still has a normal summon to go for. This was the normal summon provided by Empen, I would say. So yeah, he allows it. So he's gonna be able. Yeah, he did grab it. So this was one of the cards which we have seen Diego know the in and outs at the Italian Nationals. The thing is, this card is so powerful because it's not once per turn, so you can use the effect multiple times as long as you're tribute summoning. So once you are uncontested in a way, it can bring so much advantage. And for now, he's gonna just use the effect to draw some cards.
And now he came back like very strong in this game, because we've seen that Joe was pretty much able to disrupt Diego's plays, but and that's why he decided once again to play the deck. I mean, just a few cards. I think soon we could. Oh, he has the Smasher.
Yeah, he does have the Smashers. Oh, he flipped it. Yeah, I think.
He's considering it.
Okay, he almost flipped it, but yeah, then changed his mind at the very last second and gonna allow his opponent to actually draw 2 new cards.
What do you think? Would you agree? Like not to activate it?
I mean, it felt kind of late for it anyway, like it doesn't really matter now if you want to do for it, but I guess he feared the Ryza, and the Ryza was shuffled back anyway, so let's see. But Diego managing to actually fight back in this game, and he drops the Mystic Mine. Wow.
This is one of the main reasons why Diego came through the final and won the national championship. Is here.
We mentioned how good of a card that is, but we do know that Joe, one and only out in the main deck, is face down for him. So for now, he doesn't really need to do anything. Like, he can just use it afterwards. So he doesn't need to rush right now if his opponent is doing it, though. He does it right away. It's an okay choice, I guess. He wasn't necessarily forced to go for it right away, but he just gets rid of Mystic Mine. And let's see if there is another copy in his opponent deck, actually. And rather, yeah. Okay, so we do enter a battle phase. And I guess the greed, we could say, slightly from his opponent is paying out. Let's see.
Yeah.
Empen tries to attack.
Yeah, he gets rid of the Zeus.
Yeah. So very, very well played for now by Diego. Again, showing why he is a reigning national champion and of one of the biggest nationals too of the season. So
like, I think it's pretty annoying for Sprite to play against Flowanderies, especially because of the statue, of course. I mean,
yeah, the statue is so strong in this instance. So. And surprisingly, we're getting a 25-minute game 1, so there is only 14 minutes left in the round. Which makes thing quite complicated once it comes to the side deck. We can reassure, I think, Diego's fans, because he's not playing the Resonator we showed you guys, so we won't be able to see the Resonator in action, but still he has to be careful. So I think plays back, but yeah, the statue is there. He cannot use his starter, and let's see. He can just attack over it, so not a big deal. He attacks over the statue, and now in Memphis Shui will try to play a little bit. It's not the easiest. And yeah, for now there is Empen, so he cannot use the elf. Yeah, it seems like Joe nerves are kind of getting to him. Can't blame him, to be honest. It's the biggest stage of the year. And yeah, he picks up his car. So what a game from Diego. It felt as if he lost the match completely. Pretty much left top decking against Zeus, but eventually, with a few undecisive plays by Joe, he was able to capitalize and win this game 1, and now he is definitely the favorite of the match.
Especially because like there was a moment in the game in which basically like we thought that Sprite was gonna win. But instead, Diego basically remained calm and played his cards, and that's why he won the national championship. You know,
yeah, great plays by him. And one card we have to talk about is Ultimate Slayer, because both duelists are running 3 copies of the card, and we want to say to its full potential, which means including also the Evil Twin engine, so that you can abuse even more the greatness of the card going second. But now the pressure, of course, is on Joe. If he goes second against Flow Wanderers, it's never a good feeling. And we can say, though, that he's somewhat prepared. But when he goes first, he only has 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. So,
I mean, which is good,
but when there are like 12 minutes left in the round, you don't really want to be signing 3 judgments going first.
No.
So it's going to be a tough one for him. On the other hand, Diego has an amazing deck going second. So as we mentioned, he's maining 3 Mine and 3 Dark Lurer, and in the side deck he has 3 Ultimate Slayers alongside even cards like Cosmic or Twin Twister, which are not amazing against Pride, but if they are side decking, even maybe Anti-Spell is a card we have always seen. But
it looks like Diego is super prepared to play against this matchup, because like looking at the side deck, I think he's most scared to play against, like, you know, rock decks like Eldritch, you know, that's very difficult to play against. Yeah, I mean, in general, I cannot see why Diego could not side in Ultimate Slayer. It would be great to see it in action,
for
because,
sure.
like, you know, with the Evil Twins, it's like you get rid of 2 cards basically. So,
but let's see. I think our duelists are ready, so we can jump back to them on the table and just take a look at who is going to win game 2. And here we see one of the stars from Joe.
Yeah,
trying.
It is another good start. I think that the card is very powerful.
Absolutely.
It brings another copy to your deck. It's like a Deep Sea Diva, let's say.
Yeah.
But it also, like, it's very powerful. I mean, either way, I think having one of these cards as a starting end is, you know,
we've seen a lot of different options among like the Evil Twins, the Beaver, the Diva. I don't know. There are a lot of different merits to them. We'll see in the end, I guess, tomorrow which one was the best one. And Diva in this instance would have given him access to an Ash Blossom, which would have been really good against Flow Wanderers, to be honest. So, I don't know. I think right now, yeah, the merit of the Beaver is not really there.
And you can also see that Joe is not bringing up on the field red, which means that maybe he knows that Diego is not playing, you know, Nibiru.
Yeah, I mean, he went for the Gigantic to just be safe against it, but yeah, for now, we'll just see the totally awesome start, nothing too surprising, and in the end he preferred to just play around the Mystic Mine. So, as you mentioned, he had the choice between like Red, Carrot or Smashers, and he preferred to just have the Smashers in case, you know, Dark Ruler plus Mystic Mine Madness arrives. So let's see. We might even get to see a draw actually. So we could see Mascherena here. Let's see. But solid start. Solid start by Joe, who now has a Smasher, totally awesome, and Mascherena even sets free. Wow. He might have some Solemn Judgment set, so this could be a quick one. And we saw that he's playing the dupe, so
Yeah, I think Joe couldn't have asked for more. Like, this is a very, very, very big start, and I think he might have sided in judgment.
Oh, but we see a response here from Diego, who goes and banish 4 cost the statue, so at least his opponent will be happy, because we probably won't be able to see that anymore for the game. But let's see if Joe has set one of these 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. He has to be careful, there are less than 8 minutes left in the round, but with this start, he still would be able to just OTK swiftly next turn, so...
Oh, he has the Dark Ruler no
wow.
more.
Okay.
Okay. And that goes through.
Whoa, what a start!
Wow. Yes, the Arpis Feather Dust.
What a start!
Wow.
Wow, and he gets rid of super polymerization impermanence. What a start from his opponent. Insane, insane stuff. And he gets the Mystic Mine even. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, he's a national champion for a reason, I guess. Yeah.
Dream start for him. I mean, Joe's on the other hand, I mean, he started pretty well, but wow. Now he goes with Robina. Now it's becoming a problem, because like with the 6 minutes remaining a Mystic Mine here, he's basically free to do, you know, and activate his cards. Now comes the Eagle that searches the, let's see.
Yeah, what a start from Diego. If you were doubting him, or even his choice, as we mentioned, the national champions got a VIP package, so they will be playing on their table, and they had 2 buys in the first 2 rounds, so a great start, which could have been risky at the same time if you're not already played against a player who has, in round 3, won the first 2 matches, but I think between the 2, Diego really showing up his experience and how comfortable he is playing on stage already, but let's see. This is a very, very good start from the Italian player.
And now Joe needs to find a way to deal with the...
Yeah, with the board. He starts things off with the Trickster Light stage. He really has to take a look at the time on the clock, and let me see if he plays any engine outs. Yeah, he's not playing the Underworld. He does play Unicorn, but the problem is with Empen on the field, you're not able to access it, so it's an interesting one. And now we do get to see actually Diego go for it. Wow. Joe is considering his options, but yeah, it seems like he will allow it, so...
Because now the thing is that not only you have to deal with Mystic Mine, but Ampen as well, which is causing problems. Of course, like the light stage was good in order to force Diego's back row, but yeah, he searches the Apex Haven.
Yeah. And now he gets to actually go for it, tributing the Empen.
Okay,
that's interesting. I mean, yeah, that doesn't really matter much, but interesting decision here, which actually could get slightly punished. Let's see. There is very little time on the clock left, and here we get to see actually the talent. And yeah, great play by Diego. So not the obvious play by Joe, but Diego is playing extremely well. Once again, he has all the advantages he needs. He negates the talent, gets back the Apex, and that means that there is a lock with the Mystic Mine once again. So great stuff by Diego. as mentioned, he's ahead in terms of life points and he's ahead on the field. So this is looking like it's going to be his game once again.
Very good stuff from him.
Yeah,
I think
he's playing really well.
Yeah, very well.
Really well.
We saw it at national championships as well. Like I think there were games which were very, very difficult to come back from.
Yeah, and once again here you see a very unusual line, but very, very good from him. He allows and he doesn't even attack with the Apex. He just wants to keep it there and then use the Mystic Mine lock. So great stuff from the Italian.
Yeah, I mean, as we were saying before, like you can do the lock with the right, but like with the Apex Avian as well.
Yeah.
And,
okay,
the call by the grave.
We see even a call by the grave being flipped on the totally just to be safe. And I think Joe really needs to pick up some outs. And the problem is if you go for an out, then the Apex comes down. So here, for example, he would need to use all his monsters for a unicorn, yeah, which is going to do for. But then, if Apex actually activates, that's gonna be a little bit of a struggle. Yeah. Let's see if he goes for it.
Yeah, I think this was the only solution that Joe had. He goes for unicorn.
Yeah. And the good thing here about it is that he used the Mascherena, right? So I don't think Unicorn is actually gonna be destroyed. Yeah, because he was used with Mascherena. Yeah, so luckily they immediately caught it, and this was a great interaction as it was used for Mascherena. Yeah. So now plays back to Diego. So nothing huge now, and Diego's actually gonna set a fuel spell and gonna go off once again. And if you are a fan of Joe, unfortunately it looks like he won't be able to do much about this one. There is only about 50 seconds left on the clock and Diego is just showing off at this point. So
very good stuff from him. I think that Joe cannot really have any regrets about this. I mean, Diego also with the Feather Duster, which completely shut down his field. Now 30 seconds are left, which means that Diego still has time to enter battle phase.
Yeah, but he's still ahead already,
yeah.
So we could see just all the ways that this deck can use the Mystic Mine. It was obviously the key card in this game, and it was the same as Diego showed. Like some players tend to think of Mystic Mine as a no-brainer in a way, as just a win condition. You just activate. Instead, Diego is showing off, and even at Italian Nationals, how that card can be, in a way, skillful in this deck. And time is called, and yeah, Joe is just gonna pick up his cards, and it is Diego who wins convincingly 2-0. Great applause from the crowd, but now let's go back to us. What a match, and if national champions had to prove something this weekend, what a way to start from Diego. We already said a couple of times that the national champions, and by the way, even some remote duo YCS champions, got an extremely good VIP package this weekend with 2 buys. And they managed to just play this round for the first time, and Diego just showed how he was able to win Italian Nationals and still play Flow Wonderies successfully here today. So
I think we have to give credit to Diego, which like in game 1 we saw that basically he was out of cards almost, and then he was able to come back into the game, you know, with also because like there were 15 minutes left almost.
Yeah, I gotta say, we were actually skeptical of his line game 1, so sorry, Diego, we will probably be able to ask you something about it with Ed, but game 1, 25 minutes long, it was very back and forth. It seemed as if, I gotta say, Joe had it in his pocket with the Zeus on his field, but in the end, just Diego had all the tricks and was able to get the best of his opponent, maybe also the nerves on playing on stage. We always say how I think cool it is, but also nerve-wracking. There is a huge crowd already watching us live, and you gotta be on your mind. So still, I think what a show-off. In Game 2 it was slightly less back and forth, but the Mystic Mine, and I think the star was just one of those from a movie.
Crazy.
Dark Lure No More, RP Feather Duster on 3.
Yeah.
What a start from
also, it was like Joe had a really incredible start.
Yeah,
you know?
it was really solid. It was all the normal combo with the Toad, and then I think he had super polymerization, the smashers, and impermanence. So I think,
hand.
yeah,
Incredible.
if you play it 100 times, maybe that's the single game that Diego was able to sneak in. But I mean, you gotta give credit to him, and as soon as he's ready, we're gonna show you guys him. But in the meantime, of course, we can still remind you guys of all the players that are. So you can feel free to maybe comment on the chat which one is your favorite player, or any player you would like to see featured, because of course we have so many players. Still astonishing to me the record that we got this weekend, and it's still just so little we've seen, 3 rounds. We have 19 totals throughout the weekend, and of course today 9 rounds to go, which means we might already see someone lock in the top cut. Of course, math is always weird in this kind of events, but 9 frees almost all should be guaranteed a spot. So for these guys who already start 3-0, it's pretty much a third of the job done already. So
especially because, like as you said, you know, starting things off with 2-0s, and then coming into stage, I mean, so it's incredible. Like you basically come off show after winning Italian National Championship, then you come here and then you win. So,
but yeah, thank you guys again for watching. We are gonna go on a super short break, and we'll be back soon with Diego for the winner interview. Thank you.